Okay, I'm back. The last video I had kind of fucked up because this camera is just being a retard again. I really don't want to buy another cam, but I'm going to end up having to because if my camera keeps doing that, but it's more likely I'm going to end up having to do that because I just can't do this anymore. I can't make videos like this with my camera acting like that because it's going to mess my videos up. But yeah, like I was saying, Rey Mysterio hit the 619. And then, of course, he hit the splash, and then that was pretty much it. As Rey Mysterio become your new Intercontinental Champion, and he won in like 21 seconds, and that kind of devalues the Intercontinental title now because that title looked like it was getting its credibility back, but now that credibility is all gone now, as it's just like what the ECW title was last year. If you remember that, the ECW title looked like it was getting to where it needed to be, and then once Kane beat Chavo Guerrero in one of the shortest matches in WrestleMania history, even though there's a SD Jones and King Kong Bundy matchup, that was pretty much it, as the Intercontinental title just got devalued and it went down. I mean, the ECW title got devalued, and that's why people don't really talk about it as a title, like as being being anywhere near the world or the WWE title, because that belt's just kind of pointless now how it was treated last year. And that's how I feel about the Intercontinental title, as the belt hadn't been defended in like at a WrestleMania in like 10 years. You finally get the belt on pay-per-view, only to have it be defended in one of the shortest WrestleMania matches in 21 seconds. That's pathetic, and I don't have no faith in this belt anymore, and that's a shame because I thought this belt was getting back to where it needed to be, but now I don't really take this belt seriously anymore. We go to the sixth match on here, which was Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker. What can I say? This was a awesome fucking match. Sorry to use that word. Had some nice counters, some nice psychology with Shawn Michaels working over the leg to keep Undertaker grounded. You had Undertaker work over the back of Shawn Michaels because we already know about Shawn Michaels' back. You had the spot where Undertaker did the plancha outside of the ring, took out the cameraman to the point where he almost landed on his almost landed on his neck real hard. That was a nasty spot. When I saw that, I just cringed because I thought he was dead after that spot. Then of course he got up. Then the match picked up even more. You had the choke slam. You had the choke slam countered into the DDT. You had the move where Shawn Michaels gets clotheslined from out of the ring, but he picks himself up. Undertaker countered that into a tombstone. I thought that was over, but Shawn Michaels kicked out of that. You had the last ride, the thunderous last ride. Shawn Michaels kicked out of that move, and the look on Undertaker's face was priceless. Then of course you had the sweet chin music on Undertaker, bunch of sweet chin musics. Thought that would be over. Thought that'd be the end of the streak. But it wasn't the case, as Undertaker kicked out. Then of course you had Shawn Michaels attempt the moonsault from the top, only to have it countered into the tombstone. And overall, this was a good matchup. Forgot to mention the entrance. The entrance was really good. Love Shawn Michaels' entrance as he was coming from the top of the stage area, or wherever the entrance area. He came from the top of the ceiling from the entrance area, and as he was coming like God or something like that. And it was just a nice entrance. And then Undertaker's entrance, where he just came from the bottom, or how the camera panned out from him coming from the bottom. It was just nice. But overall, very good matchup. To me, this is equivalent of very great matchup, not good. To me, this is a very equivalent of you fuck so many girls, you have so many good fucks with so many girls, but then there's you have this one last fuck with a girl, and then it turns out to be great, and it blows all those other fucks of many of the other girls you fucked. It just blows all those away, and that's what this match was. Just an awesome matchup, and my eyes were just glued to the screen because these two just took you on a roller coaster ride, and they just never let you go. And that's pretty much what this matchup was. Just a good matchup, and I really enjoyed this. 5 stars easily, the best match of the night. We then move on to the 7th match. Only a little bit to say. It was John Cena versus Edge versus Big Show. Love Cena's entrance. When I first heard the Thugonomics, his theme when he was the heel rapper, I marked out like a bitch. But then when I saw all the Cenas come out, I was like, oh, this is pretty interesting. And then of course you had John Cena come out. But overall, very good entrance, very good match, good 3-star matchup where you had some points in the matchup where John Cena and Edge were working together to take down the Big Show. You had the suplex with John Cena and Edge and John Cena suplexing the Big Show, and then them just trying to work a little bit together to take down the Big Show. You had the spot where Big Show was in the Andre the Giant spot where Big Show was tied in the ropes, and then of course he was screaming, get me the hell out of here. And then of course you had Chavo and Vicky get involved a little bit. Chavo got FU'd. Then Vicky got pushed to Chavo where Chavo protected her from falling onto the mat. Then of course you had the spear from outside of the crowd where he broke the barricades or whatever, the pad. He broke that and they landed in the crowd. And then of course you had John Cena try the FU, but he couldn't get Big Show the first time. He tried the FU again, got him. Then Edge got put in the FU, and then Cena covered, and now Cena's your new World Heavyweight Champion. Be interesting where Cena goes from here with the World Heavyweight Championship. Don't have a problem with him being champion, but it's kind of getting old. It's kind of getting old seeing him be WWE champion again, being World Heavyweight Champion again. I mean, maybe that's just me. I don't have a problem with the guy, but it's kind of getting old seeing him being champion again. But that's the WWE. What can you do? We then move on to the next segment, which was the Hall of Fame, the class of the Hall of Fame, where they were just talking about the Hall of Fame class of 2009. It was good to see all those guys. It was good to see Austin, and then of course Austin came out in the ATV, got a loud pop when he did that. He was riding around for a while, and then he toasted JR. He toasted with JR. That was good to see. And then of course he rode on to the sunset, and the announcers were saying that this was his last hurrah, his farewell. I'm pretty sure it won't be his last farewell, as we'll probably see him in many other TV appearances. But it was nice to see Steve Austin, if that was his last wrestling appearance. It was nice to see him go out the way he did. Very good, and very good to see one of my favorite wrestlers get the pop that he the biggest pop of the night, and the pop that he deserved, the well-deserved pop. We then move on to the last matchup on here, which was Triple H versus Randy Orton. Only a little bit to say. Very boring matchup. Really couldn't get into this matchup. It was just, there was some good spots in this matchup, but then it just got real boring. Really couldn't do. I mean, I can understand because you had Shawn Michaels and Undertaker just go at it like the match pretty much before this, but still very good. I mean, good. It wasn't like it was a bad matchup. It just really couldn't get into this matchup. Just real boring. And then in the end, Triple H wins with the sledgehammer shot to Randy Orton when the referee was out, pedigree, and then of course he wins. Overall, it was a good matchup, but still wasn't great. I expected a little bit more better from these two, as I felt these two had way better matches previously, and I felt that these two could have at least had a real good matchup that was on the same level as the other previous matches, but it wasn't the case. It just was just not a really good match. This was just a good matchup, but not great matchup, as this was just a boring matchup. And one thing I gotta say is, what was the whole point of building Randy Orton up? I mean, you built him up before Royal Rumble, and then you built him up after Royal Rumble, and then only for him to lose at WrestleMania. What was the whole point of that? I mean, I don't understand that. I mean, he's one of your biggest heels on Raw. You could have did something with him and Triple H again at Backlash, with him as having the title and in a rematch, but WWE didn't do that. I don't know. I'm not gonna go into that. But anyhow, that's my review. Thank you for watching. Rate, comment, give the pay-per-view a 8 out of